What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the Answer the Sain Show, sponsored by our good friends at Create A Cig. 4 area locations, man, where you can get all your smoking needs, whether you're a nicotine user, Delta 8 user, the legal marijuana, man, the diet marijuana, they got all that for you, man. I'm a big user of that. I'm not into the nicotine thing, but I am into the Sain Asylum pack, which you can get anytime you show up, ask for it by name. Everything you need for a great smoking experience, what I said, whether you're a nicotine user or a Delta 8 user. Let me tell y'all about the nicotine package. Y'all think I don't know nothing about it, man. It comes with any Wave Bar 10K, man. It comes with one of those. Also, any Ursa Nano kit with the nano bikes, straight from Tony Stark himself coming in there, man. And any 60 milliliter Theory or 30 milliliter Salt Nick juice for all you Nick users out there, man. We got that for you in the nicotine pack. It's the Sain Asylum pack, but it's also the Kenny Stubblefield classic. You know what I mean? You got that little spin to it too. You ask for the Kenny Stubblefield, they might not know what you're talking about though.
They're gonna be like, who? Who?
Do you play for the Redskins and the 49ers? Nah, not him.
Not him. That's my cousin. That's my cousin, bro.
Yeah,
That's my
exactly.
cousin out
Black
of this.
cousin. Or you can get the Delta 8 pack, which comes with any disposable vape, pack of gummies, and a pre-roll. So it's good stuff for you, man. And they sell flour there too. The flour is not part of the Sain Asylum pack, but get you some of that flour too, man. I hit up Chris yesterday. Chris is the district manager of the world for Create A Cig.
Oh, maybe the district. Maybe he's a district manager of the district.
District manager for Create A Cig. Even if he's not there, that crew is going to take care of you. They're going to find out your name, call you by name, take care of you, hold you by your hand there at Create A Cig. Have you a good weekend, man. Have you a good, hey, I've been blazing up. Used to be like once every other week. I'm like twice a week now, man. I've been Johnny Blaze over here, man, for sure. So check out the people at Create A Cig for everything you need. Get that Sain Asylum pack. Ask for it by name. Ask for the Kenny Stubblefield. They might not know who you're talking about. You got to put your boy name on it. Yeah. But even though Kenny a bigger deal than me, don't get it twisted.
That is absolutely not true.
Don't get it twisted. Well, speaking of big deals, Kenny Stubblefield, we both are church boys. We probably over church boys. I made my confession to stop going to church about 2015, I believe. One of the better decisions of my life. But I still speak the lingo. Like I know the language. I know, and I'm still a Christian. I know God, right? And I don't actively read my Bible, but I know enough. You know what I mean? I know more than what the people who say they know the Bible know. Like I still have great knowledge of the Bible and what Christians are supposed to believe.
It ain't changed unless you're Donald Trump adding shit to it, but whatever.
But we're gonna play this clip. Let me set the clip up for you guys. It's basically this church. This is what I like about going virtual too. We can put the eclipse in here. It's kind of harder to do when we're doing it in the studio. But it's a clip from this church. Basically, they're having. Let me explain this like it's for a 6-year-old, for people who are not church people. Me and Kenny are both church guys, and we're in the South, Memphis. There's more churches than anything here, than tobacco stores in Memphis. So
I think Memphis would be a better place if there's more Create A Cigs and less.
More Create A Cigs in churches. So just go get high, man. Just go get high, man. Get you some nicotine in your system.
If there were more Sain Asylum packs out there instead of
man, if everybody had a Sain Asylum pack instead of a pastor. You need a pack or a pastor. But no, man. All right, so here's the setup. Churches have something that's like corporate worship where everybody's worshiping together.
Right.
This kind of looked like that, but it also kind of looked like there's a moment sometimes at the end of the pastor's service, pastor's message, where the Spirit of God kind of lifts up and it gets heavy, and it's kind of set up for the invitation or just kind of another worship experience, right? But these are all corporate worship experiences where everyone is free flowing in their particular worship, right? So this lady, she's crying and she's kind of wailing out to God, and she's like making all these loud noises, and this happens. Let's go ahead and play that clip.
So to set it up again, even more so, the guy you see on here is the pastor of the church.
Is the pastor of the church. He's not a singer. He's the pastor of the church. And he's married to Shaquille O'Neal's wife, ex-wife, which is the craziest transition of all this. All right, but go ahead.
So what you'll see in this video is the actual event plus his explanation.
Yeah, exactly.
I lift
Yeah.
Yes.
Think about it.
I live
They got that Real Myers mic on.
Look at that camera work, man.
Nah, it's dope. Hollywood. It's a nice presentation. Hey,
Stop her.
hey,
Hush, hush.
everybody looking.
Silence in the name of Jesus.
Silence.
In the
I
name of Jesus.
lift my hands
Except for me.
Yeah, except for me. Hold on.
into the only voice I want heard is his.
And here's my voice.
So pray.
And mine.
You know, social media is into cuts, not context.
Yeah.
And every suggestion that I got from every naysayer, I've already done. This is a 4-year battle.
He said naysayer.
Oh, this is ongoing.
This is ongoing. So I've
And
already
he's
talked to her
gonna
personally. I'd already had ushers go up to her. I've already had
Hey,
prayer
Cameron Hall
warriors.
fine
I've
as
had
hell, too.
everything.
Let me
So
go ahead and
she
throw that
did
out
it
there while we
publicly
talking.
after being asked not to.
What is she? Is she cry? Is an emotional break?
Well, you know, as a pastor, I know the difference between disturbance and worship. And what people have to understand,
Make sure y'all listen.
understand is that every time you hear a noise in church, it isn't worship. And so there has to be order. For instance, it's okay to applaud in this room right now. But if somebody got up and just started clapping right now, I'm sure somebody would bring order to the room.
Yeah.
And so what I did is I brought order to the room so people could hear
Order.
God and not her. And I'd do it again if I needed to.
Wow.
All right. I don't know if we were talking when he said this part, or you might have clipped it out. But he said that in that clip that the lady who was singing in the choir, mind you,
Yeah,
that
on the
this has been a
stage.
4-year situation with her where he's constantly having to address her publicly, privately, all these type of things about her, the way that she
Right.
outwardly praises God in church, right? And my thing is, if you're recognizing this as being a distraction or every sound you hear is not worship, right? You're basically accusing her of being out of order, or you're accusing that sound of being something that's not a godly praise, right? Like this, that's just noise. It's not, she's not praising God.
Right.
I'm not going to get onto the semantics of the authority that he has to call out whatever he's saying. I'm not even going to get into all that, right? That's a whole nother conversation for y'all to have on your own, right? But I will say this. If your role in that church is to be the leader of that church, right? How does this lady who you've had this ongoing battle about her being out of order, how is she singing in your choir? Like how has she been doing that for 4 years, man? That's all I want y'all to make sense of me. That's all I want people to make sense of me, bro. Like I said, I stopped going to church 2015. This stuff looks like a damn comedy show to me at this point. I don't feel any emotional connection to this at all. It looks like they are speaking a foreign language, but they ain't. Like, 'cause I know exactly what they're doing. And I've seen this stuff before. Like I've seen like this mentality of how this guy thinks. And I'm like, bro, if my thing is, here's my thing. If God himself is truly here, right? If he's like, if God is here, like God is God, like the creator of the world, the universe, if he's present in this place, right? If he decide to swing by on y'all, right? Bro, there's no sound you can make that's going to interrupt whatever experience somebody's having between themselves and God. Like and the beat.
That's a pretty close. That lady's voice was a pretty close one, man. If there's anything that could, that shit was wild.
The point I'm trying to make is,
No, I got you.
if God himself is here, that lady could be screaming with a megaphone and it ain't gonna be no big deal.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like and when I see this type of stuff, bro, it's like, this is why I'm cool with the experience I have with God. The way I choose to deal with him. You know what I mean? Like the way I choose to experience him, I'm perfectly fine with it because I had people, I made a post about this on my Facebook, right? And people started coming in saying this and that. I was like, man, I'd rather just not deal with it. Like, I'd rather just not deal with this malarkey, man. Like this nonsense, these rules. And like, your rules aren't even based on what your faith says. Your rules are based on just traditions of just social traditions and social cues. It's not anything about what the Bible says. You know what I mean? And it's interesting. I know people are probably going to be, when you talk about things that got to do with faith and religion and church, people have their opinion. But man, I'm good, bro. I'm good on all of this, bro. And like, I visit, whether it's for my son's sake or ladies I'm dating or whatever, I visit, or my friends. I have a lot of friends who are pastors, right? Who invite me. And I feel like someone inviting me to church is like them invite me to dinner. Like that's a very intimate moment you're asking me to share with you. So it's hard for me to turn down anybody's invitation to church, especially if they're the one who's speaking, right? So
Right.
if someone invites me to church, I'm going to go. When I was at 92.9 a few years ago, I did a series where I would go visit churches and I would do church
I
reviews.
remember that.
I was doing
wild.
church reviews. It was a great segment. I enjoyed visiting all these different churches, right? But it's like, man, that just seems so buck wild to me, man. To say, because whatever this lady's going through, she was really emotional about it, right? And I'm like, I don't know what that lady's going through. Like, who are you to say that she wasn't worshiping God? Like, bro, it's so wild, bro. Like, and that's the kind of thing where you better be right, bro. I hate to get into my religious bag or whatever, or spiritual bag, whatever y'all saying, but if you're in that position, right? If you're in the position of being the pastor of that church, man, you better be right if you're saying, oh, she wasn't worshiping God. That's why that was just noise. You better be right, man.
Because what's the insinuation, Anthony, if she's not
you're
worshiping
saying that
God?
she's on some wild shit. You're saying like she's on some demonic type shit or something. Well,
because if you heard him say, when he went up to her and rebuked her, he said, silence in the name of Jesus.
So Jesus,
if you are not in tune with like spiritual language,
he's accusing her of a demon.
That's the language of removing a demonic presence from somebody, a presence or spirit or whatever.
Yeah.
That is heavy stuff.
You better be right, bro. You better be right. Because one thing I know the Bible talks about is offending the little ones, right? And like if that lady turns away from your church, your little kingdom, or if he turns away from God, you gotta deal with that, bro. Because you publicly embarrassed that lady, and it's like a super. I don't know if God saw viral stuff coming like 1,000 years ago, but this is where we are, bro. Like, that's a lot of blood on your hands if you're wrong.
And one of the things I've noticed is somebody who, like me and you both are, we've been around churches and pastors our entire life. I was on staff at a church for a long time. One of the things you say this, and I love the way that you say this because it's absolutely true. One of our responsibilities as someone who follows a certain creed or a certain belief system is to not make it look awkward as hell. Right. Like to not present.
You're an ambassador. You're
a
representative of your faith, man. Yeah.
One of the things I have, as I've come to know a bunch of guys who stand up on the stage and preach the Bible, is most of them are like kind of weird.
Yeah.
Like just their personality are just a little bit strange, a little bit off, and they live for that moment of being able to stand up on the stage for 30, 45, maybe an hour and a half in the white church like they do, stand up on the stage and have hundreds of people staring at you, writing down notes of things that you said. Like that is a
literally
dopamine
up your words.
That's a dopamine hit that a lot of folks don't understand.
They call it being fed. I gotta go get fed.
Right. And
it's like, fed, brother. Shit,
and
Popeyes, what you mean?
It's like those guys, like that guy. When I noticed him do that, when I saw that video, when you sent it to me this morning, I go, this man is just an uncomfortable ass dude. Like he's just uncomfortable in that situation. Like this is my moment. Like you even saw it. Like I'll only want to hear from the voice of God, and then he speaks immediately. Like there's so much intertwined in it.
And speaking in tongues in the mic, which I'm not even gonna go there. That's a whole other conversation. Other conversation. But anyway, all right. Anyway,
wild stuff, dude. Wild stuff. He's to go on a broadcast like that broadcast he was on where he was explaining the situation and publicly
fine ass. But go ahead.
Publicly put it out there. The business of what's going on with that lady, man, is wild to me.
We ain't heard nothing from her.
No. And we won't.
I'm talking to some of the lady saints out here. I talked to some of the saints in the church, and they've got some theories that she said their energy with that exchange kind of gave off some. The black mothers and the black aunties in the church been sharing their opinion is their energy. But if you're looking to have a one-on-one encounter with the Lord, Kitty Stubblefield, without the middleman, without being judged, right? Just go to Create A Cig. Get a tap of nature, man.
Man, dude, you got me. You're the only person in this world that can say something that makes me want to like really explain how I feel about things. And like So yes, if you want to have an experience with God that could potentially become the final
Grab
book
that
of
purple pack of gummies right there. You
That
swear
right
you in
there.
heaven with
Those
anything you ever pondered will hey, it'll come out, it'll come up.
that
during those
pastel
moments.
cartel gummies will have you going, yeah.
You be telling yourself, hey, you tell your brain, hey, be quiet in the name of
Be
Jesus.
quiet in the name
Try
of
to talk to
Jesus.
God over here.
Silence. I only want to
Try to
hear your
God over
voice.
I'm trying to hear God.
Man, you crazy, man. You can
Hey,
get me in
you
trouble.
you have been high, bro. Be like, I was high one time, man, and I cut on Netflix or something like that. It did not cut nothing on. I was waiting. I was like, bro, when is the movie gonna start?
Just staring. I did the same thing the other night, man.
Oh God.
Oh, I gotta tell you a funny. I gotta tell you.
Brain, be quiet. I'm trying to hear God.
I gotta tell you a funny story off air that about the pastel cartel gummies, man. But
oh man, it was just ahead you, man. It was just
on the
had you go,
moon,
bro.
talking to Jesus.
Man, don't use a microwave or an air fryer when you high, bro. You would burn your house down.